My guest is Peter O'Reilly, NFL Executive Vice President, Club Business and International and League Events. Peter joins me every year to provide us with a one-of-a-kind look at Super Bowl week. Peter, welcome back to Sports Business Radio. I always enjoy our conversation. Thanks for joining me.
Me too. Thanks for having me back, Brian. It's an annual ritual.
It is an annual ritual, and I look forward to it every year. All right, Super Bowl 59, New Orleans. What is special about New Orleans? It's been a while since you guys have been in New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
It is, but it's no New Orleans is obviously no stranger to Super Bowls. This is the 11th, a record-tying 11th Super Bowl in New Orleans. So there's great Super Bowl history here, and obviously just an amazing city that knows how to put on big events, so compact and walkable. Big reason that we're able to come back was the significant renovation of the Caesar Superdome. So that building really shining after a significant renovation. So this is one of those Super Bowl markets that fans and partners love to come down and be a part of. So we're thrilled to be back in New Orleans. Obviously, at a time where we hope to play a positive role in showcasing the resiliency of New Orleans as well. So this is a meaningful one here, Brian.
Yeah, let's go back to what you just said for a minute. So the renovation played a big part in returning. When you're looking at venues now, is there certain benchmarks that the venue has to have in order to be able to host a Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a capacity number. You know, back in the day, there was some threshold 70,000. That's not necessarily the number now. It's really around ensuring that this stage, which the stadium is, our Super Bowl stage, is really at the highest quality to deliver that with the world watching. So I think that we've seen that over the years that obviously we've gone into some new buildings recently for Super Bowls. And this is an example of a stadium in the Caesar Superdome that they built a plan over multiple years to really renovate and do it in the right ways and improve the fan experience and the hospitality experience around the game. And that commitment by the Saints, by the state, by ASM really is delivering an incredible building, an incredible stage. So it's a real factor, and it was methodical in their work over the last number of years.
For people who haven't been to New Orleans, you talk about the fan experience. Literally, the NFL fan experience is taking place at the convention center. Give us a lay of the land. How far is that from the Caesar Superdome and Bourbon Street? Where does it all lay in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, in the Super Bowl world, New Orleans is about as compact as you get in terms of a Super Bowl, and that's great for fans because really, no matter where you're staying, whether you're in the French Quarter, or you're down by the river, or otherwise, it's all very compact. The Super Bowl experience, which is presented by our partner Panini, is down at the Montreal Convention Center, which is down by the Mississippi River, which is not a far walk. Everything. It's hard to find anything on our event map that's outside of a 20-minute walk, and that's it's always a vibrant and culturally stimulating walk in New Orleans. So, our core events, whether it's the Super Bowl experience in the media center, which is at the convention center down by the river, the Caesar Superdome, which is, again, 15-minute walk from there. And then we've got a lot of our other venues, whether it's NFL House or NFL Honors, will take place this week, which are really in the heart of the French Quarter. So it is such an accessible city, and we're thrilled about that.
You had opening night last night. That's always a great thrill for the fans to get to hear the media interviews. I love how you've opened that up so fans can come in and see all of that. And then Thursday night, NFL Honors on Fox, hosted by Snoop Dogg. You always find great hosts. Is there anything special that we should be looking for with this version of NFL Honors?
Yeah, and just to hit opening night was great. It's a tone setter, so we love that event. And doing it in the Superdome, where fans who may not have a chance to be in there on Sunday, we had about 30,000 fans in there last night who got a chance to see the Superdome dressed for Super Bowl and see those participating teams up close. And there was a lot of great energy. And then to your point, NFL Honors, which is presented by our partner Invisalign, that event continues to grow every year on Fox and this year on Fox on Thursday night. Snoop is a great host. Obviously, a lot of fun and a great both football fan and coach and has run league, so very close to the game. And then the moments that encourage people because there are a lot of special moments this year. Obviously, we'll announce the MVP, which is such a interesting race this year, Rookie of the Year. We'll also announce the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class. And in addition to that, I think you'll see some special moments in there, both in honors and on game day. Obviously, a lot has happened over the last month, so an opportunity to not only shine a spotlight and honor and reflect on whether it's the LA fires and the impact there or the resiliency of New Orleans. So I think you'll see some special guests and some, both as presenters, as well as really a great set of NFL current players and Hall of Famers there that night at a beautiful theater, the Sanger Theater in right in the heart of the French Quarter.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch. I've attended in person before. I think it's the best run award show that I've ever been to. So you guys do a fantastic job with it. Let's talk about your broadcast partner. Fox is the broadcast partner this year. I got to tell you, I'm really excited to see Tom Brady, who's won 7 Super Bowls, call a Super Bowl with Kevin Burkhardt. I would be watching anyways, but I think the fact that Brady is calling this one makes it even more special.
Yeah, no, it is special that Tom in his first year in this Fox role will culminate that with a Super Bowl and to be able to call this game, this great Super Bowl matchup, this run that the Chiefs are making at a three-peat with their own, obviously elite quarterback in Patrick Mahomes and an incredible quarterback on the other side. So I think having Tom part of this Super Bowl alongside Kevin will make it a really special broadcast, and I think you'll see that throughout the lead up and then across the game. So Fox, obviously a tremendous partner and a great team putting it on. They've their team at the core has done many Super Bowls.
Talk to our audience a little bit about your work with the broadcast partner leading up to the game itself. I mean, like you said, these are pros, they've done these games before, but what's your interaction with them leading up to the game?
Sure, very close. Obviously, our media and broadcast team, led by Hans Schroeder and that team, leading that relationship. But we are attached to the hip because I think everything intersects. Everything intersects in terms of where Fox's sets will be throughout the week. They've got sets throughout the city, and certainly on game day. There's so many moving parts of that show, which is a full 6 hour pregame show and everything that goes into that, the shows that they do during the week. We work incredibly closely. And then when it comes to game day and the broadcast, everything that we're building in terms of the moments and the experiences that come to life around Super Bowl, not just during the game. And I would really encourage people to watch Fox throughout the day, but ensure that you're really settled in front of your television at least an hour before the game. And that's where we spend a lot of time with Fox on really creating those moments. They're open, the moments we do in stadium. How do we bring to life the America the Beautiful and the anthem? Those things are a marriage of the live event experience with the broadcast. So they're a tremendous partner, and the best partners come with ideas, and we build on them together.
The biggest of names usually attend the Super Bowl. Uh, it sounds like Taylor Swift is going to be there. She's one of the most popular people on the planet, and it sounds like President Trump might be there as well. I would imagine that impacts TV. They'll want to know kind of where those people are in the facility. But for someone like yourself who oversees all aspects of the Super Bowl, I would imagine, you're safe no matter what. But when you have people like that in the building, wow, it really amps things up to a new level.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really, regardless of who is at the Super Bowl, as you know, safety and security is number one through everything. It is we the partnerships we have, and this is a highly rated national security event given the magnitude of Super Bowl. So really we work so closely with local officials, state officials, and federal officials, led by our chief security officer Kathleen Neer, and really there are always a lot of moving parts on Super Bowl. But frankly, as Chief Lanier said the other day in our press conference, I think that stadium and campus on game day will certainly be the safest place in America, given the focus and the quality of the public safety resources there.
The audience for the broadcast last year, 123.4 million people, the most viewed program in the history of TV and across all platforms. Peter, it seems like this just gets more popular every year. The numbers go up every year. Just when you think, wow, can it go up any higher? It keeps going up. It's amazing.
It is, that's just a testament to the game and the quality of the teams, the quality of the play, the excitement. You saw that. You saw the tremendous ratings for the championship games. You saw that AFC championship game number, which represented just the quality of that game on the field. Just great storylines. We have incredible storylines here with this rematch of a Super Bowl just 2 years ago, and some incredible star power out there. And I think it is, we never take for granted, and we want to make sure that we're delivering in the Super Bowl, obviously a great game, but everything that surrounds it to make that coming together on what kind of we humbly call a bit of a national holiday, where you've got families coming together watching this game, experiencing everything around it, the entertainment, the advertising, and certainly an incredible game. So we're just so grateful to the fan base and and the way that they've followed this journey through the season, and we hope to culminate it in a big way.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. One of the incredible parts of the Super Bowl is the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar, special guest, SCA. Wow, great performers. I know you work closely with Rock Nation on putting this together, but I say this every year. I've been at the Super Bowl. I've seen how quickly you load in and load out, and it takes hours typically to do that for a concert. You guys do it in minutes. Maybe you can give our listeners a little bit of a glimpse, like the preparation that goes into this. This isn't just something that happens because you figured out the day before.
No, that is for sure. There's definitely a massive amount of planning and orchestration and precision. And you mentioned our partner in Rock Nation, as well as Jesse Collins, who's our producer, working with DPS, our production company. And there is lots and lots of rehearsing, not just the musical pieces, but to your point, the technical orchestration of putting all of those stage pieces and putting all the tech together in that very organized chaos that you may see behind the Fox set as they're getting ready for the halftime show. That comes together in a very short period of time, a tight halftime show and off the field. And these are some of the best in the world at what they do, that allow then for what is one of the biggest concerts of the year, not the biggest concert of the year. We're excited for Kendrick and the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. Rehearsals going well. Obviously, he came off a big Grammys night the other night in terms of his success there, joined by SZA, and more surprises to come.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be helpful. Not that he needs any help, but he did do so well at the Grammys the other night to roll into Super Bowl halftime show. That's a pretty good 10-day stretch for him.
Not bad, yeah, not bad, and it's just a testament to his talent. Just incredible, both performer and writer and overall artist.
And then for the anthem, you've got some local flavor singing the national anthem.
Yeah, we really important. There's the the beat, the heartbeat of New Orleans is so clear, and finding musically the right performers. And again, working with Rock Nation on this, really across pregame, starting with Lettucey, who's a Louisiana native, singing "Lift Every Voice and Sing." "America the Beautiful" is going to be stunning, with Trombone Shorty and Lauren Daigle coming together, both again from this area. And then, as you mentioned, our national anthem performed by John Baptiste on the piano, singing. Going to be really, really special, and I think quite emotional.
I ask you this every year, but walk our listeners through your day. What time are you getting up on Super Bowl Sunday? Walk us through your day. And as I remind you every year, make sure you get something to eat and drink some water.
That's right. You and my mother at 88, she is continuing that reminder. And Brian, I
Good for
appreciate
her.
it every year. Uh, I'll typically, you know, hopefully I'll sleep to this point, but probably get get up around 5, and then and my schedule is much more tame compared to a lot of people on our team because our teammates who are working at the stadium will start meeting around 3 in the morning, and credential pickup will start around 3 in the morning. The incredible team of people that make the Super Bowl happen. But I'll get up, check on any last minute things that may have changed, check in with the team, get over to the stadium, and then fairly early on, we've got what we call NFL Control, and that's the hub of Super Bowl. Before that, a handful of us will really walk the campus, get eyes on things, both the outside of the stadium, the inside, and then really settle into NFL Control. And that's the nerve center of Super Bowl, where you've got every function, every department representing security, broadcasting, social media, all of the key partners there. And you follow through the day. It builds. It's a slow build as the city comes to life, and you start to see people working their way to the stadium. And we encourage getting everyone into the stadium as early as possible, and then it builds. And the adrenaline goes, and there's always things that come up, but we've got the best in class people to address those, and you work your way all the way through to the end. And you're standing and you're supporting each other, and you're just so proud of the people you get to do it with.
How many people on the NFL staff now? I know I ask you this every year too. I would imagine it's growing a little bit.
Yeah, I guess define how how you or question how you define staff, but the core NFL events team is a still a fairly small and mighty group of about 30 to 35 or so, and then there's obviously many other departments that are so integral to Super Bowl, and then we ramp up to, as a small army, if you will, in terms of people who are coming in to be part of this NFL family. But it's a core team that is incredible and dedicated, as well as the other departments at the NFL who are so central to Super Bowl. We've probably got on our morning meetings, we do a morning meeting every day at Super Bowl for the last few weeks. We've probably got 60 to 65 people on there who are the lifeblood of putting it all to life. But our team's growing a bit as we take on more global games and events, which is a huge focus of ours as well.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that in a minute, but let's look ahead to Super Bowls after this. So correct me if I'm wrong. Next year is Super Bowl 60. That's incredible. 60. And that's at Santa Clara.
Hmm.
61 is in Los Angeles at SoFi. And 62 is in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. Is that right?
That's right. You nailed it.
Okay. And are there any more that are announced beyond that or no?
Nothing beyond that. So
Okay.
we've got those three. We'll start to look at the following Super Bowl this spring. Obviously, no lack of interest in hosting Super Bowls, but we like this run. The San Francisco Bay Area hosted Super Bowl 50, as you know, and now a decade later, Levi's Stadium and our partnership with the Niners and the Bay Area host committee will host Super Bowl 60. We're thrilled about that. And then obviously we had a tremendous first Super Bowl not that long ago at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and excited to be back there. And then awarded last year Super Bowl 62 to Atlanta, which is obviously Mercedes-Benz, a great stadium, and that's a great event town, another compact town in Atlanta.
Yeah, what a great problem for you guys to have. You have so many great venues in the league now and people who have hosted Super Bowls. You got a few new stadiums coming online. Like it seems like a really great time for the Super Bowl with lots of different options.
Yeah, we've got great options and just great partners in these cities. And then to your point, as you look to the future, there's no shortage of new stadiums that are in development right now, and that becomes interesting as we think about Super Bowls of the future.
All right, NFL draft. You also oversee that while I have you. Pittsburgh, well, Green Bay first and then Pittsburgh, right? Is that?
That's right.
And I love the fact again that I mean, it was great while it was in New York, but I just love seeing these cities get so excited about hosting the NFL draft. And these are two of the great fan bases in the history of the NFL, Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of really looking at cities that may, not likely to host Super Bowls in the future. So the draft, as we've scaled it, and frankly, the fans have helped us scale it. You are able to go into these fantastic cities. Green Bay, that pilgrimage, because not many people have been to Lambeau, and have, it's hard to get a ticket in Lambeau. So we're going to be building that full draft and draft experience in Titletown, with fans having the ability to go into Lambeau and be part of that. That's goosebump stuff in terms of what that experience will be this April, when the 2025 draft comes to Green Bay and is on that Lambeau campus, with those prospects there. And then you follow that going into another incredible fan base, as you said, in Pittsburgh, at the confluence there, and with a really great setup there, in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh, and an incredible fan base. And then, we're in the process of, that's another one like Super Bowl, Brian, where given now the scale and the sea of humanity who comes together as this love of football and hope that the draft represents, there's no shortage of interest in hosting a future draft. So we're working through that process for 2027 and beyond now.
Exciting. All right, last question for you. This seems to be the part of your job that has changed the most since you and I have been having these conversations. Peter, the international presence of the NFL is really growing. You had five international games this past season in 2024. It looks like you might have as many as eight coming up next year. Why the growth of international games? And then I would imagine this is adding a lot more to your plate. You started off with a few and now you might have eight.
Yeah, it's all to the good. And ultimately, Brian, it's about our journey to become a true global sport property. We're on that path. We feel like we see that everywhere we go. You see the fans' passion for our game. Um, and this is about, it's the games are the most visible thing we do. And we'll continue to play those in strategic markets and bring our games, regular season games, to more fans. But it's about year round, in culturally relevant ways, connecting with fans and finding more ways in this market. As you know, we started this season in Sao Paulo, Brazil, with the Philadelphia Eagles, who are with us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that was our first time in South America. That really, we saw the passion of the fan base there, and that lit a spark for what the future is. We've already announced that we're going. We've had great success in Germany. We're going to a new market in Germany this year, in Berlin, in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. That's going to be really special. We're going to the home of Real Madrid, first ever regular season game in Spain at the Bernabeu, with the Miami Dolphins, who have marketing rights there. There are some big moments coming. And then we've got a few more announcements to come in the coming days and weeks around other games on the horizon that we're really excited about.
Do you think in our lifetime it's realistic that there might be an international division of the NFL one day?
Um, we will see. We will see. I mean, I think the reality is that the passion of our fans in some of these markets, like in Germany, like in London, some of these other markets, the fan passion is there to
Mhm.
support a franchise or franchise. The stadiums are there to support that. Um, but there's a lot of complexities as it relates to potential expansion, and that's not a front burner topic right now. But in terms of those core things, it's not unrealistic. Our focus at the moment, though, Brian, is how do we bring our game, our core game with our 32 clubs, to more fans on a regular basis, and allow them, when we're not playing games there, to continue to fall in love with our game. via media, via other events on the ground, and frankly, via our game, via flag football, where we are committed to really growing the game of flag football for girls and boys, men and women around the world. Thrilled that it's going to be an Olympic sport in the LA 28 Olympic Games and hopefully beyond. So, future in the future, who knows? But we're on this journey day by day to become a true global sport property, and our teams are engaged with us in that.
Peter O'Reilly, NFL Executive Vice President, Club Business and International and League Events. I always enjoy this conversation. I wish you great success on Sunday with the Super Bowl and for the rest of this week. And, I just love watching from afar all that you're doing with the draft and the international games and the Super Bowl. And you're just doing a great job, Peter.
It's an incredible team of people, and that's what drives it. And Brian, thanks for having me, and really appreciate the conversation.
Thank you so much.